know the consequences of failing a biology test were nowhere near as intense as bombing a class here. It's pass or don't pass on, comforting thought. Also, death makes thinking difficult. My thoughts keep trying to take off in all directions like a flock of birds in a field. My dogs are snoring, sorry. The second one lands, it flaps off almost immediately, and it's hard to get back. Or maybe I'm just a little ADD in general. I pause on my trudge back to the dorms and attempt to sit on a big rock in between buildings. When I don't slip through, I cross my legs and blow out a sigh. Red sunshine fans out between the bare branches of the trees. It creates a pattern on the grass like stained glass. I squeeze my eyes shut, trying to catch a memory I feel tickling my brain. Sitting in an old church, the smell of candles, a hardwood bench grating my spine, organ music. Fingers pressed to my temples, I try to ground my thoughts, but it doesn't work. The memory slips away and I let out a growl. Why can't I nail them down? Miss Alvarez said it might take time, but not to worry. Not to worry seems to be the party line around here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? I push out a sigh and lean back on my palms to watch the stars take over the sky. As they chase away the final rays of sunshine, the temperatures steadily drop. Everything in me slows, almost like the opposite of an adrenaline rush. Whereas when I had a body, the cold might have stung, numb, removed feeling. It now swirls through me in a cool wave, a little like the way mint spreads through your mouth. Antsy and a bit uncomfortable, I hop up and shuffle further into the woods, kicking leaves as I go. Or at least I try kicking leaves. They barely stir when I swing the tips of my boots at them. Guess I'll learn how to do that better in corporal contact tomorrow. Wind knocks the tree branches together overhead. It's an oddly soothing sound, another weird aspect of Locklear. Apart from the threat of becoming a polterghost, there's still very little spook about this place at all. I feel like this really should surprise me. Ghosty things are, after all, known for being scary. But somehow, it feels right. Maybe it's because things aren't spooky to those who are already spooky. I chuckle and try kicking the leaves again. The tip of my shoe actually catches one, sending it cartwheeling away. I do a little happy dance, complete with ill-timed hip shimmies and a weird arm movement. Progress. The faster I figure out how to interact with the world of the living, the quicker I'll be able to discover my unfinished business. Though I definitely need to dig up my missing memories first. Still in happy dance mode, I take a few large prancing leaps down the path, breaking through the tree line and into a field. Now a heavy dose of spookiness hits me. Hundreds of tombstones line the wide space. Moonlight spills over them, casting warped shadows along the raised dirt. It's ridiculous to fear the bodies below, but I still backpedal a little, unable to pull in a deep breath. What is it about this that scares me? Where does our fear of dead bodies come from? Reanimation, maybe? An unnatural craving for brains? My imagination kicks into overdrive. If I found my remains, could I inhabit them again? Or am I irrevocably separated from my body? I shiver at the thought. Time to go. No reason to hang out in a graveyard contemplating existential questions. Don't want to be too much of a cliche, right? The thought drives some of the creepiness away, and I smile a little as I spin back to the path leading to the school. My hand smacks into a hard chest, and I look up to see the last laugh about. Irritation rubs my nerves raw. Unfortunately, because Landon is taking the serious route, every ounce of immature rebel in me wants to continue egging him on. Excessive and inappropriate outrage does that to me, apparently. I open my mouth to make another joke, but before I can get a word out, a familiar wail claws through the air and I flinch. It's the same combination of pain twisted with sorrow as before. Loud, deep, and weirdly distorted. It definitely qualifies as spooky. Landon lets out a strangled little gasp and I glance at him. His eyes sweep the trees above us. I follow his gaze to the thick shadow spinning between their branches. Without thinking, I reach toward it. It's in pain. I can feel it writhing through the air, so intense tears fill my eyes. For some reason, I'm not scared, more curious. The shadow screams again and tumbles in my direction. Landon grabs my upper arm and hauls me away from it, swearing as he runs. I still don't have a ton of control over my body or spirit, I guess, so all I can do is let him drag me along, the toes of my shoes skimming the ground. He doesn't stop until we reach the main building, slamming the door shut behind us. He grabs both of my shoulders. What in the realm of the dead were you doing? You can't interact with one of the twisted. They're dangerous. His fingers tighten, pinching my skin. His eyes haunted. How? I'm not sure why this is my first response, but the question pops out of my mouth before I can think it through. Landon's brows crush together. They're destructive. If you get too close, they can suck you inside their own torment so you can't get out. So they turn you into one of the twisted too. I look over my shoulder, trying to get a glance out the window. Landon lets go of my shoulders and crosses his arms. Might as well. Get sucked inside and nobody ever sees you again. We don't actually know what happens, Kaz says, approaching from our left. As usual, he wears a smile and a sweater vest, looking like the star student at any academy he might attend. I purse my lips, wanting to ask about Haya's roommate, but holding back for now. No one's been super forthcoming about it, so maybe it's too soon to poke that particular beast. I'll have to do a little quiet snooping on my own. Maybe Rafe will want to join. Did you two see one out in the forest? Cass asks. Shoving my fist into my pockets of my jacket, I nod. Is that normal? Cass's grin falters. He and Landon glance at each other but break eye contact fast. Not much is normal around here, Cass says. But on occasion, one of the twisted does find its way to Locklear. Best to avoid them just to be safe. Has anyone at Locklear ever gone twisted before they moved on? I ask, not sure if this is the push too far considering the way they've been acting. Cass speaks quickly, his words half running together. Very rarely, but we're late for dinner. Don't want all the pizza to be gone, right? He strides forward and Landon follows, his expression no longer sour but fearful. Are they trying to avoid scaring me? Because not answering questions has the opposite effect. Maybe something more sinister is going on. I realize I know very little about this place or the people, ghosts in charge. When they said they'd teach me, I accepted it without much question. This might not have been the smartest decision in the world. Then again, maybe Locklear is the best place for me to find answers. I'll have to be careful about who I talk to, but as my fellow newbie, Rafe seems